So the found footage
marathon
continues.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to try to combine words?
It's a marathon.
The found footage-a-thon?
Found footage-a-thon, the works.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we watched a couple more today.
Couple
and
more.
I'm sure we're going to be watching plenty more in the days to come. First up, we've got Rewind, which is from 2015, if memory serves. And this is about two buddies who have this ghost show called, like...
Goof and the Ghost?
Ghost Goofs or something? I want to say this right. I want to say this right up front. While I do find that there are some scenes in this that feel tense and kind of scary-ish, this is like a very bizarre comedy with very questionable characters that I found to be off-putting and shitty people. Right? So
I thought they were, like, funny because I felt like they some of the stuff that they do as far as, like, the decision making is just, like, the characters are, I think, meant to feel very, like, dumb and not naive, but just kind of, like, dumb bros that really are just trying to get girls to like them through their channel, and so they just act kind of like idiots throughout, which definitely makes some of the some things that happen in the film, like, it lessens the impact of them. But overall, I actually really liked this film. I thought that there was some a really cool gimmick, first of all, and I think that the execution of it was really successful, especially for a low budget film. There was plenty of scenes that I was like, oh, I was unsettled for sure. And I don't know, I think that they tied everything together really well. Like, everything looped back on what it was supposed to.
As far as the plot synopsis goes, yeah, they have this show that they're doing, and they're going out to this house to interview somebody for some reason. So,
like, it sort of seems like they make up haunted places, and they just kind of try. Yeah, they make up, like, a backstory.
Yeah.
And then sort of try to play off of it. And it sort of seems like semi-serious at times because they make jokes, and you're like, I don't know if they're going to cut that out of their final take or what. But
yeah, because we're seeing their unedited footage, right?
Right. And so the house that they go to, there's nobody there.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, if you want to know, okay, we'll give you a little bit more of a synopsis in a minute, which will be kind of spoilery. So if you don't want to know what kind of movie it is, it's a unique one. I'll say that before we say what the film is actually about, because maybe that will sell you if what we have said at this point hasn't sold you. But I will say, for found footage fans who want something different, this is definitely different. Albeit weird. It's a very bizarre movie. And the characters in it, I don't know. I guess if you take into consideration their mental state and who they are, maybe this is believable. But I never found anything to be believable, because not just because it's like science fiction horror kind of stuff, but also just because of the characters. I think what it really comes down to is, like, the characters' reactions to shit. Is like, what?
But, like, at the same time...
But that's the comedy of it? It's weird.
They felt really natural. And, like, genuine, like, people. Like, I feel like I've met people like that who act like that and talk that way. And
what would they be doing what these guys are doing once the, like, twist comes in?
I mean, I don't know, maybe. Maybe. Probably not.
Not the way they're acting.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny. I definitely took more humor out of it than, like, annoyance.
You have to take this film as a joke, and you can't take these characters seriously.
Yeah.
right? Like, they laugh in super inappropriate moments. They do terrible things to each other.
Yeah.
They read like viewers' comments and like belittle them, make fun of them, laugh at horrible things that they're saying. They're just bad people, like outright.
Yeah.
And so, okay, getting into like the more spoilery synopsis for where this goes, without getting into full spoilers, just kind of maybe this will get you interested. This film becomes kind of like a triangle, time crimes, time loop kind of film, where every time they rewind, they create a new branched reality, and there's like, you know, at given points, we'll just say multiple versions of themselves out there in the woods. But as I said, like when that happens, you expect them to freak out, for them to be like, what the hell's going on? And that stuff doesn't happen, really. They're just like so accepting of it and really just start doing things that you're like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a comedy with horror in it.
Yes.
But it's like a dark, bizarre comedy because nobody acts the way they would.
No. I don't know. I was really into the time loop elements, and that's kind of what I was meaning at the beginning of. I think that it was executed really well. Like everything that they set up in the beginning, you come back to at the appropriate time, and I really liked all of it. I thought that it was shot really well, and like I said, I think they're acting, even though they're goofy and like kind of unbelievable as far as like their reactions go, they still felt like real people to me.
Yeah.
Just the way they were talking to each other, like clearly they're friends in real life and know each other, but that really translated with their characters, and I don't know. I was just I liked that.
I was very impressed with this film from a technical standpoint because when we were watching in the credits, the two guys that are in the film are the two guys that did almost everything. Mm-hmm. Like if you look at the credits, they did the editing, the special effects, the music, the camera work, they had additional camera work by other people that helped them out a little bit. But if you really look through the credit, it is almost completely them and them alone. And as Kaleo and I, want to keep upping our game with our films, we've been talking about making a found footage film, hence why we're watching so much found footage to get inspiration, but also, just rip people off. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Actually, watching more of it's making me, avoid accidentally ripping people off. Although the more we watch, the more I'm like, shit, I think it's all been done, as it always happens. But yeah, it's just the ambition of the project, whether you like it or not, I think is really impressive because they really did do all of this themselves. The director of this went on to do a movie called Tonight She Comes, which is not a porno, which is a really weird movie. And when I did review on the channel many years ago, so when I looked into his filmography, because the reason we looked into the filmography is because at the end of this movie, it seems like in the credits that they're teasing a sequel, because it said these characters will return in Rendezvous with Death. But then Kayla was like, well, that's RWD, just like this, rewind. So maybe it meant this. And I was like, no, it said they will return, just like, Thor will return in the Avengers, right? Like, I think there was a planned sequel, but this happens all the time. Like automated transfusion. At the very end of the movie, it says, to be continued, part 2 coming soon. Never happened.
Yeah.
The all cheerleaders must die or whatever. The Lucky McKee movie. At the end of that, it was like, part 2 coming soon or continue, to be continued in part 2. That was years and years ago. Never happened. Right? Like, unfortunately, you shouldn't make that claim in the credits unless that shit is green lit.
Yeah.
Unless you are already in production on it and you know it's going to happen. Like when I see that in the MCU, I believe
happening. It. Sure.
But when I see it in these kinds of films, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever see that.
I mean, I would definitely watch it if it came out to see what it was about. And
sure, this movie's 7 years old at this point. I don't think it's happening.
Probably not.
Yeah. That's all right. It's a unique found footage film, and I know you guys will be blown away to find this out.
Guess where it is?
Tubi. Yep.
Yep.
And the next one we watched, Tubi. The one I currently have on the screen that we're talking about watching next, Tubi.
All on Tubi.
Found footage, man.
It's the place to be.
You like found footage. Tubi is it, man. It's free. I don't even know why I'm paying for any other services right now. Well, outside of Amazon because of Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Oh, and HBO Max for House of the Dragon. Yeah, so and Disney Plus for She-Hulk. And so then Disney Plus also for Andor here in a couple weeks. Oh, okay, never mind.
That's fine. But Tubi still, you should get Tubi.
And Paramount Plus for Evil. So, whatever. We're done. Moving on. Bye.
Bye.